Sidious and Darth Maul speak about Sleepy GP time.
What the f...
Hi.
Yeah. Josh up to normal Josh things.
I went delusional.
Well, that's what the race would do to you.
Fuck my point.
Oh, it was just... Yeah.
How do you have two McLarens and two Ferraris in the top four and go...
I don't know. The only way I can describe it was boring.
Wait, no. MonacoGP. Normal, as it always is. We've rambled like you usually do. Welcome to Be the Better. And this is the review of the Sleepy GP / Monaco.
Yay! Right, and that's it. There was nothing else to be said. We're finished with the review. I'll see you later. Bye. No, I'm messing. Okay, right. Let's start with qualifying then. So there wasn't really much to talk about in terms of qualifying. Max had a shocker, and then we'll talk about the other Red Bull. That was the bigger one, was that he crashed out in Q1. It was shocking for him. I know he's not brilliant around Monaco. Much to what Josh was saying last time, he said he's master of street tracks, not of Monaco.
How does Perez actually have a decent start to the season again and go? Like,
I think that's just him. I think it's just him. It's just maybe he's not what everybody thought he was cracked up to be. He's. You look at the last 2 seasons, he's been in the fastest car. It's starting to dwindle now. It's really starting to dwindle with it being the fastest car, but typically been in one of the fastest cars, and yet still P8 was it P18 before the Haas?
It was originally P18.
Yeah.
Haas got the. I guess. Like, I'm sorry, but even P16 is still unacceptable.
And that was only P16 because of the Haas.
Red Bull is suddenly the second fastest car on the grid. No, not first.
Oh,
like, it should be P3 at the very least.
I know. It's starting to show the issue with him, and I think that there's a possibility that he may not have the seat at the end of the season if he carries on the way that he is. Plus the fact that McLaren and Ferrari are starting to catch up, if not have already caught up and gone just a touch beyond. It's going to show Perez for, well, what he is at the minute, and that is failing currently. And that's not a nice thing to say, I know, but it is true.
I think Red Bull kept Perez on thinking, there's not many options on the grid. I don't disagree with that one, with all the contracts and all that. But they kept them on thinking, oh yeah, McLaren and Ferrari and all that won't catch up to us that quick.
And they have done.
McLaren more so than Ferrari, but Ferrari ain't far behind either.
No, Ferrari aren't that far behind. And to be fair, I think if it was more of a normal track and it wasn't so, Monaco, I think McLaren, well, Piastri, probably would have taken Charles quite early on, because he had the pace, because he kept him at a certain gap, and then he dropped behind, and then he picked straight back up again. And you could see that, you see it throughout the race, you could see that it was there. Even then, you look at qualifying, there was only places where Piastri actually made young people mistakes, where he was then messing up. That was the issue. Piastri throughout the third sector, pretty much up until the finish line, not far off the finish line, was ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc had him in the second sector, but first sector, Piastri had him.
I think something that got showed then now is Piastri's still young, and the one issue he has had since he joined F1 is his tyre management.
Which he did
that
well.
Showed at the last 5 laps.
Yeah, he had done well up until that point, and I think him trying to back off a little bit would have been a better idea, like everybody else was. Look at every other car on the grid that went long. Look at George. Backed right off. Kept the tyres, kept him going for 77 laps.
Well done, George. By the way, wow.
What a race for him. Don't get me wrong, he was miles behind, but he kept Verstappen behind him.
He did what he had to do.
He did what he had to do. Stayed out 77 laps. Didn't budge.
Mental.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll go back to Perez and we'll talk about, obviously, the Haases. So, obviously, the Haases ended up getting disqualified from qualification because of a rear wing issue. The flap was opening a bit too much. And the FIA were like, nope. Disqualified.
Okay.
Yeah. They had some good pace. They actually looked like they had some very, very good pace.
Q1, they shocked me. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And obviously Q2 didn't work out as well, but they were still up there.
Yeah, they were. They were. And obviously it sent them to the back of the grid. And the main reason that I'm going to be talking about these right now is because of what happened Sunday. So hence the Perez-Haas situation. So obviously, for those of you that haven't watched or may not have watched, whatever, or just want to listen to about it, obviously, coming out of the first corner, we had Magnussen, and we had Hülkenberg, we had Perez, all going into that first corner. Hülkenberg was out on the left, Perez down the middle, and Magnussen out on the right, closest to the turn, to that first corner. And what happened afterwards was just absolute carnage. Chaos. Absolute chaos.
Yeah, just a bit. The last time I've seen a car that wrecked out. We've got to go back to... Well, we've got to say it, Grosjean.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the last time I've seen a car that wrecked.
Watching the onboard, obviously, by that point, I'd already seen that Perez has got out of the car. But watching the onboard, which obviously put on screen now, watching the onboard, my heart was in my mouth. Like, it was just... Like, I would not have liked to be in that situation. Like, watching it was just terrifying in a sense, because it was just... He had no control. His car was on its side, and he was just smashing up against the barriers. You even see the people behind. I think there was a shot from behind the barrier, where you see all the people literally just try and run and duck for cover, because they were aware the car was just going to go whoom, because it was going at speed. Going up the hill and you're going flat out. It was a horrible crash to watch. Luckily, everyone was perfectly fine. There were, and all the safety features that have been put into F1 cars over the years, obviously, did it justice. You could see that it kept him safe.
It didn't.
Go on then.
Kept him safe. But what scared me is the tethers on the car broke. They should never do that. That scared me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was worrying. And I felt sorry for Zhou, because he was behind all of that. Watching all of that just unfold.
How did Zhou survive? Don't know.
He just slammed his brake on. Absolutely just slammed it on and came to a stop. Which is fair, because obviously all that debris could have, damaged his car quite badly. But just watching that, I think they used the onboard footage of that just to show what had happened. Obviously they used Hülkenberg's footage. And even then watching it that way around was like, you saw Hülkenberg slam on for a second and then go to speed up. I think if he'd sped up, he'd escaped that completely. But because he braked out of probably more fear of trying to crash, I think because it just caught him on the back right, didn't it? And then that's what...
I think he made the right decision to try and go past it. It was just maybe a second too late to make that decision.
Yeah. It's because he literally, you see it, he braked, and he just braked for that second where he should have sped up. Or just carried on with the speed, because it would have just taken him away from it. But it's, it's a millisecond of a decision, really, isn't it? It's who else would have sped up in that situation? Who else would have not slammed on, seeing that there was a massive crash? Oh, of course, yeah. It's because you're the one that causes the crashes around Monaco.
There's the one who's finished the race once on the F1 game.
Twice. Thank you. Credit where credit is due, okay?
I won a ranked online match last week in Monaco.
Yeah. But obviously, yeah, there was that. That was shocking. Magnussen just didn't even hold his hands up and go, I made a mistake. He was trying to defend his decision, which I thought was just...
See, I'd like to know your verdict on it, because when I first saw it, I'm like, Magnussen's out for next race, penalty point, slam dunk, bang.
Yeah.
You then look Perez's POV. Perez does see him coming.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not blaming Perez. Magnussen should have backed out either way.
Yeah.
But should Perez give more space to Magnussen there?
Do you know what the thing was? He should have given even more than he tried to give him. Because you saw... I'll play the footage. You'll see him. He looks across to the right in his mirror, just before the crash happens, I think it's just as Magnussen hits the wall. He bumps it with his front right, which obviously causes the off to the left.
Yeah.
But he looks into the right and goes and moves just ever so slightly to the left, like, oh, that will be enough room, even though the track goes, like, curves. You know what I mean? It curves, like, towards the top of the hill. Well, most of the way up the hill.
I think Davidson said he thinks that Perez might have thought he had enough top speed just to get away from, to actually close it without it being that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need to look at the Haas's compared to the Red Bulls. The Haas's have got pace, like straight line. They are rapid. I don't know in what universe he would have thought. Oh yeah, there's enough space. Obviously, he might have done. There might be. Oh, there's enough time for me to get away. But the fact he was keeping up. I mean, Magnussen thought that he was far enough alongside. I think it was front axle to back axle, really, wasn't it?
Nah.
There was no way he was enough. Yeah, even Hulkenberg said that wasn't the case. He was like, he wasn't near. No. He wasn't close enough. You know, if they were almost alongside, almost like front to front, then yeah, fair enough, you would pull off to the left slightly. Which, there was no one there. Not at that point. Hulkenberg wasn't there. Hulkenberg was behind him. Because he had to pull out going into the corner.
I get it's a lap one instant. Turn 2, effectively when it happens now. How is there no investigation?
That's what I'm baffled by. It's caused 3 cars to go out, including one constructor as a whole. All right, it is Monaco. The likelihood of any of them getting any points whatsoever, very, very small. Like, point something of a percent. But I just don't understand why there wasn't one. Unless they've decided to deem it as, well, it was a little bit this person's fault, a little bit that one's. You know, and thought it's a 50-50, it's just an on-field incident rather than, like, and just gone, do you know what? Yeah. Maybe.
What I'd say about it is, if Gene Haas was still that team, is K-Mag having a nice seat tonight? No.
No, K-Mag's getting thrown off a mountain.
Like, literally, the pool, Leclerc jumps into it without the sea. K-Mag's going in and never coming out.
Yeah, Gene Haas will be there just pushing him down into the marina. But it was scary. Obviously, so we'll take it from there. So we'll go from there and we'll move further up the field slightly. So the next couple of corners along, we obviously had Sainz who had pulled over because of an incident with... Yeah. So obviously, I'm moving my way up in a sense. So in terms of the track layout, we're moving that a little bit further up. Obviously, Sainz has pulled over, which obviously has caused a yellow flag in a sense in sectors 1 and 2. Sort of. It kept flipping between 1 and 2 for some reason. But sectors 1 and 2, obviously he's pulled over because of an incident that happened in the first corner. Now that, entirely, that was Sainz's fault. Fully, 100%. Because he bumped into him. There was literally zero room on the left-hand side of Piastri. None whatsoever.
Do you want to hear my theory on this as well, though?
Go on then.
Yes, he already said in F1, he's the luckiest man. That's the luckiest trump card you could have in F1.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he's starting third on the red flag. If he doesn't have that puncture, I don't know, they don't even all get past sector 1 because of that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have that puncture, he's ruined Piastri's race because Piastri had quite a bit of danger in the side pod.
Yeah, but he managed to keep second, which is a testament to him.
He did, but if that red flag doesn't happen and Sainz didn't get that puncture, that's Piastri's race ruined, and that's Sainz's race ruined because Piastri's going to be that slow. Sainz will be able to get past him as well. Yeah. Look, Sainz had a good season so far. I don't want to throw a dig at him.
No. Just saying.
It's a mistake.
Yeah, that case, it was a bit of a mistake. He's tried to go a bit aggressive with it, obviously, because he's like, I've got a chance here to get past him. Right now, first couple of laps, probably the best opportunity to try and overtake anyone in Monaco.
Yeah.
Whilst everyone's trying to settle in, making the odd mistake here or there and everywhere, with a full tank of fuel. Yeah, it's going to be the case. But that was Sainz's fault. And yeah, lucky. Absolutely lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay. Now we'll move further around the track. So past the hairpin and whatnot, and into Portier, and
I think Ocon was trying to get his flight early. I think that's what he was going for.
Ocon was hoping to get home, just there and then. Why? God. Just why? At the end of the day, yeah, okay, there was no yellow flags. The red flag hadn't come up yet, I don't think.
No.
They reacted quite late, actually. I think, knowing how bad that crash was, they reacted quite late with the red flag, personally. That would have probably stopped the Ocon-Gasly situation. But Gasly decided that, he wanted to go into a corner. Fair enough. He's got the right. Ocon thought, hold on, I just need you to check the underside of my car. I think I've got an issue with the floor. Can you just see whilst we're out on track? Yeah. that was
I don't right.
Dumb.
Gasly is literally along that side of the wall. He cannot go any further without literally crashing himself out.
Oh, he's going off for a swim in the marina. Yeah.
Oh, I see a guy. Oh, hello, guys.
Whoops.
Oops.
Yeah. Do you know what I think was going on there was Ocon was hoping to just completely skip the tunnel and just go flying right over Landon first. I think that's what had happened, and unfortunately it failed miserably. And, everybody else thought that too. Everyone else was not happy with the fact that he just went, phew. Yeah. He's in trouble.
I'm going to go back to what Kevin Sainz, right? We're going to he's in trouble because he is. But this trouble I think he's going to be in, I think, is harsh.
Yeah, you have
Same with Sainz. Sainz has had a very good season so far. So is Ocon. That car has been a piece of... Whoa.
Yeah.
I could have a lot of money in that car. And yet he's dragged a couple of points out of that car.
He's dragged one.
He's been the better driver. Okay, so he's dragged 1 point. Apologies. He's dragged 1 point out of that car, which is more than it deserves.
Yeah.
And he has been a better driver of the two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he definitely has been. But I think their race plan was to protect Gasly. I think that's what the issue was, mostly, was the fact that they were trying to protect Gasly to get him a point as well, to just try and obviously even it out or whatever, I don't know. But obviously, they were trying to protect Gasly to hope that he'll get a point, and Ocon can then do as he pleases. But Ocon was just like, nuts to this. Nah.
I still think so. We'll get into trouble that Bruno Famine has come out and said there's been massive repercussions and it needs to be dealt with.
Yep.
In a big way.
Yep.
Rumour coming out of this is that he's losing his seat only for one race, next race. No, it's a bad call. It's a bad call.
I mean, to be fair...
I get that there needs to be repercussions, but you're going to take your best driver out of the team?
For one race?
No.
I mean, to be fair, I don't see Alpine doing that great, personally, around Canada. I don't think they've got the pace as such.
You've got to be in it to win it, and then you're going to drop your first driver for your third driver. That's what I reckon anyway. If they drop them, they're going to put Duan in.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he needs some form of punishment from Alpine themselves. Yeah, he's got a 5-place grid penalty for that absolutely reckless behaviour. Everyone was thinking it was going to be 3 because it was a 10-second time penalty, I want to say. And usually they dish out of 3 if you're no longer on track. But they slammed the foot down on that one. But he did need some form of punishment. And yeah, maybe skipping a race might not be the best thing. Maybe it could have been, I don't know, money or something, like get some form of fine or whatever. Maybe missing a race might not be the best thing. I mean, obviously, we can leave that to you that are watching. Let us know.
Yeah.
Do you think Ocon deserves to miss Canada? Obviously, as of right now, we don't know if that's the case. But let us know below. See what you think. Exactly. But okay. Anyway, we dealt with all the naughty boys and whatnot. So let's deal with let's deal with the good boy and his dad, Charles Leclerc. So. Oh, Charles and Piastri. But no, Charles Leclerc. Yeah. Fantastic drive from him.
2 brothers, 1 and 2.
Yeah. It was a great Great race from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and emotional for him as well. He was welling up in the post-race interview. Like, straight after he got out of the car and went and had a little celebration. He just couldn't even speak.
That scream he did in the radio, I actually felt that. I was like, oh, because after Charles, he's wanting to, like, no, kind of want to cry.
Yeah, it was emotional. And do you know what? Home race is his first time. He's had, DNF, DNS. Was it 4th, 6th? I think it was that way around. First.
He did well on the start, but on the start. He's had the case since he went to Ferrari.
Yeah, he's had that curse since F2, isn't he? He's had issues all the way through.
Yeah.
So, but no, well done, Charles Leclerc. Fantastic race from him, and the fact that he actually held that gap as well to make sure that the cars behind couldn't go in for a pit to then go on quicker tyres to possibly take him on the straight. That was genius move, absolutely genius by Ferrari there. Just to keep him at distance.
For once, a Ferrari strategy was good.
It was a fantastic strategy. Props to them. Honestly, fantastic strategy.
I saw Russell's time clock. I was like, oh, they're going to give pit stop to Norris and all this here. And they're like, wait, that held steady at 15. Nice, fair play.
Yeah, just slowed it down just enough, kept it at the same pace. You could see he was keeping it at the same pace as well because the times were basically the same. Obviously, if he had the minute to be able to then pull away from Piastri, he did. If he needed, it was just a constant yo-yo. And yeah, it meant that Lando couldn't pit. Like, that's how tight they were keeping it. Lando couldn't even pit.
He was half a second up behind pit. Did you see that?
Yeah.
20.5 that was.
It was like that.
And he pushed to try and get past Sainz to try and get that gap. But Sainz just went, nah. Sainz was perfect for Egon today.
I know.
Perfect.
I know. He did what he could to get Leclerc the win. And well done.
Yeah.
He's got his own seat, future, whatnot to look after, but he did a good job there. And
I completely agree.
Yeah, you cannot complain. But yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it?
I mean, Max didn't win again. But wait, can I say this actually? It's 8 races so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 races. 4. What's going on?
We had 3 all of last season, wasn't it? I think it was 3. Yeah.
No. Yeah, because Perez and Sainz, yeah.
3. And this year we've already had 4 and we're 8 races in.
This is something we're going to expand on in a future video, but is the Red Bull domination coming to an end?
Do you know what? Comment, if you get this far, and you have got this far, thank you for your dedication. Comment below, let us know, and we'll feature your comments in that video. It's up on our Twitter as well, but YouTube's got priority, so definitely put it in there. Let us know if you think that it's over before we record it, and I'll put it everywhere. Shout you out. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's an interesting one, and we'll get that. Yeah, we'll get to that, and we'll put that video up at the end of the week. But anyway, enjoy your week, and we will see you in the next one.